And of course, in Buddhism, we always emphasize about how to transform the attachment of the ego. We cannot say, oh, I'm the best, I'm number one and so on. But the meaning is that the Buddhas want to proclaim that later on, in many Mahayana sutras, that explain about that kind of significant signs, significant meanings of his word. Why did he say he's the highest, the supreme one in the world? Of course, I know that in the Christian traditions, you can say because of the faith, right? We believe that Jesus Christ is the most supreme one, right? Of course, in our tradition, we keep with that kind of philosophy of principle based on that word. Whether that's true or not, still you can say that's the reason we have religion. So later on, the Mahayanists are the one who explain about the Mahayana teachings of the Buddha, so that in Buddhist point of view, every living beings, remember in Buddhist tradition, we believe that there are 6 kinds, or you can say 5 kinds of beings: human beings, celestial beings, celestial is heavenly beings, animal beings, ghost beings, right? We know some people who like to do ghostbuster, right? Okay, the last one is hell beings. The reason why I wrote down later on, we might discuss the difference between the definition of heaven and hell in the Buddhist and Christian traditions. So basically, in Buddhist tradition, we have that kind of principle, of recognitions that living beings revolve in 5 parts: human realms, heavenly realms, animal realms, ghost realms, and hell realms, depend upon how much karma we create, whether it's good or bad. The favorite one are the human realms and celestial realms. All right. So in Buddhist point of view, regardless of the realm we were born, or regardless of the form we have, each of us has what you call the goodness nature, or the Buddha nature, or the pure nature, whichever way you want to define it. The reason why the Buddha said when he was born, he said, I'm the foremost one. That's a Buddha nature, or good nature that every one of us has. Not only you. We're not excluded from. You got that? Okay. So you can say that's the nature of the will. Okay.
That's the same thing as saying, we are love, each of us love.
Yes. Later on in this class, we may discuss something about passion. We can elaborate more. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So after that, after he walked 7 steps, he said that word, and after that he become a normal child again. But 2 days or 7 days after he was born, his mom passed away. His mother, you can say that to convert his mom, to teach his mother in order to repay the kindness that she gave birth to him. In Buddhist or in Asian traditions, repaying the kindness of parents is so important that every child have to remember, whether they follow Buddhist tradition, Christian tradition, or Muslim tradition, it doesn't matter. But paying the kindness of parents is so important. The reason why the parents or the grandparents, whenever they get older, they like to stay with their children or grandchildren. We discussed about that. Okay, so later on, he paid his mother the kindness of giving birth to him by ascending up heaven to give the Dharma teaching. Now, another one, after his mother passed away, sister, the queen's sister, her, this is pure hard to spell her, Prajapati was responsible to raise him. And later on, this lady was the first nun in the Buddhist traditions. We'll discuss about when the people who beat the ox or what the buffalo, that's really suffering for the animals. And when the birds seen the worms, they pick up, they somehow kill them. So somehow even in his childhood, he recognize that kind of suffering too. And yeah, here you see the nature of life. That's the illustration. Now, why the king and his officials were busy with their people, somehow the prince can say that stick out to do the meditation under the tree. And other times he's so young. Some people say that he was 10 or 12 years old. And actually, right after he was born, there was a what they call the fortune teller, right? Came to the palace and told the king that this baby, your son in the future, if he remained in the secular world, he would be a great king. But if he renounced the world, he would become a great religious leader. So, because of that, his father, the king, always want him to become a great king, right? So he tried many ways to keep the prince being happy. So after this incident, the king knew that the prince sat under the tree to do meditation by himself. That's somehow made the king being worried more, because the purpose of raising the prince is to give the throne to the prince, not to let him to renounce the world to become a religious leader. So the king gives Siddhartha. Siddhartha was his name. Siddhartha, what has been wish fulfilled. Siddhartha as his name, and his what they call family name is Gautama. Right? Yeah, to mention that. So because the king did not want his son to think about the religious life, he just raised some kind of luxury life for the prince to enjoy. So this we call that the king built the summer palace, the rainy palace, and the winter palace for the prince to enjoy. That's means the king create the luxury environment of life for the prince to enjoy, so that he could not have any kind of thoughts to renounce the life. This is like temptation. And later on, of course, according to the history,